Hello, everybody. It's about that time. Let's go see what's in the fridge today. Hey guys, thanks for stopping by Gregsbeerreviews today. Now, I'm not so sure about this one. And I usually like most styles of beer, but I'm not into the lambics or the sours. So, this one is Mad Meg, and it's Jester King. And I've had some tasty stuff from Jester King. They're out of Texas. And this is batch number 10, October 16th, 2013. And this is a pretty good, big beer. This beer is 9%. It doesn't have the IBUs listed here on it, and it's got says 8.9% on the bottle here. IBUs are 33. Ingredients: Hill Country well water, organic malted barley, organic malted wheat, organic hops, farmhouse yeast, wild yeast from the Texas Hill Country, Brettanomyces, and souring bacteria. That last ingredient may be what I'm not going to like about this beer, the souring bacteria. I'm not into the sours too much. Contains wheat, suitable for vegetarians and vegans. Notes: Mad Meg is a dry, unspiced, highly attenuated provisional ale unique to our land in the Texas Hill Country. Naturally occurring wild yeast impart a sense of place to this unfiltered, unpasteurized, 100% bottle conditioned beer. So hopefully it won't spew all over the damn place when we pop the cap on this one. Trevor brought this one up to me, so Trevor, thanks a bunch, guy, for bringing those beers up to me. He is in the brew club, the Star City Brewers Guild, that I'm a part of. I don't go to a lot of the meetings much anymore, but I do consider myself a member there. And those are all home brewers, guys, and some of them have gone on to do good things and open up their own breweries. So they definitely know what they're doing in that club. They brew some really tasty beers. So thumbs up to those guys at the Star City Brewers Guild. I miss seeing a lot of them guys and going to the meetings, but time scheduling and their meeting dates and what I have going on, it just hadn't worked out here recently. But that's another story altogether. Anyway, back to this beer. Jester King's Mad Meg Farmhouse Provision Ale batch number 10. In October 2013, Jester King began brewing this beer using indigenous wild yeast and souring bacteria. All bottles from batch 10 onward should be under this rating. And going to food pairings: cuisine, the curried, Thai, cheese of the earthy, Camelot Martina, your nutty cheeses, Asiago, Colby, Parmesan, your pungent cheeses, Gorgonzola, Limburger, and the meat is poultry, fish, and shellfish. Glass bar pint, Becker, Nonic, tumbler, tulip, oversized wine glass. Got the double glass today, and can be sold for long periods under the proper conditions. Let me read this to you. Commercial description here: Provision ale is a rough translation of the French term bière de provision, which is sometimes used to describe special beers that were suitable for extended storage and aging. Brewed from relatively simple, straightforward ingredients, Mad Meg is golden colored and quite strong at over 9%, which this one's only 8.9. Its palate intertwines delicate farmhouse esters with the earthy, spicy hops and clean malt flavors. The name Mad Meg refers to a peasant woman from the Flemish folklore, also known as Dulle Gret or Dulle Gret, who leads an army of women to pillage hell. It's like a bad bitch to me. She's famously depicted in Pieter Bruegel the Elder's 1562 painting by the same name. Well, don't want to mess with that chick, huh? She sounds like she's mad. She's going to take on hell. She is mad. Alright guys, that's all we need to talk about on this one, so let's get the cap off of it and see what happens. Got a really nice cap on the top of it. I'll have to save that one for the fridge. And this is a 750 milliliter bottle. This is a great big bottle, so sometimes it's hard to get this opener to work on these great big monster caps. I'm not having a lot of stuff. There we go. Got it off. Didn't bend it up either. That'll end up on the fridge. And it didn't spew all over the place, which was a good thing. Just got a slight hiss, so it's not overly. I was surprised it didn't have more of a hiss being bottle condition. It looks like it's rather carbonated, though. I'm getting a nice head on there. I didn't pour it down the center or anything, so I mean, a good maybe 2 1/4 finger of head there, and it is very orangey, light golden orange. Yeah, it is. It's a golden color, and I can see the bulb right through it, and not a lot of bubbles, but the D it's engraved in the bottom of a double glass. I'm getting a stream of bubbles up from that, and that's why it's etched in there. A lot of the glassware, you'll see something etched in the bottom of it to enhance that bubble. But it looks pretty clear. Now the other end, like I said, once we get to the bottom of it, it may be cloudy as hell. So when you pour something like this, unless you're pouring it into a glass that's big, and you can pour it all in there, you're not going to get that cloudiness in the first part of the pour. So I'll let you know when we pour the other half for her, how much more cloudier it is, and this when I come back. So let's get a nose on it. Definitely got the Brettanomyces yeast in this. That is basically unmistakable. When you smell that, it does not smell like any other yeast. And it has some farmhouse funk to it too. But that's definitely Brettanomyces yeast. Got a nice floral, citrusy, maybe some lemon rind or something in there. But it's definitely got that farmhouse funk going on too. A lot of your saisons and farmhouse ales will have that funkiness smell. But it does smell rather citrusy. I mean, I'm not getting any sourness on the nose. Well, let's give it a taste and see what we got. Thank you again, Trevor. Cheers, brother. Cheers, everybody. It's really not that sour. I'm pleasantly surprised. I was expecting something like a sweet tart, and my mouth was going to go, but it's not. It's not too bad, it really is. It's pretty good. It's different. If you're a hophead and you drink IPAs and hop forward pails, and you're a hophead and you don't like anything other that's not hoppy, you may not like this. And if you're into pale ales and lagers, you may not like this. But if you've had Brettanomyces yeast before, and you had a saison or a farmhouse ale, you may like this quite a bit. I'm not getting so much of the wild bacteria sourness in this beer that I was reading about before I opened it up. I was expecting something completely different than what I'm getting. It's not bad. I'm not getting any alcohol. A nice farmhouse funkiness. The Brettanomyces yeast is definitely there. It's present. It's got that certain taste that nothing else has. You know, like I said, this is a great big bottle. This is 750 milliliter. And it's leaving a nice lacing on the glass there. So, I'm pleasantly surprised, like I said. So, let's let this warm up. And we'll come back and we'll do the final chug and grade on this in here shortly. We'll share the other half of this with her. This kind of beer I like to be cold, chilled, and then let it warm up to room temperature. And it come out of the refrigerator at 40 degrees, but I don't know if I just let it sit there too long. It tastes like it's around 50 or 55 degrees right now. It's warmed up pretty quick. Of course, it's 90 degrees outside, so we're having August heat here in May. And that's the thing about Virginia. It goes straight from 35 to 90. You don't have any spring or fall. I mean, it's either snowing or the damn paint's bubbling off the car outside. It's so freaking hot. So that's just the way it goes. So life in Virginia, guys. Stick around. I'll be right back. Alright guys, I'm back. Got just a little left here, and it was considerably cloudier. As you can see, you cannot see any light through this now. I mean, we poured the other half in there, and I mixed them both together. Very, very cloudy. I mean, and that's the biggest problem you got when you have a bottle like this. You can't check it up before you open it up. I mean, it's going to spew everywhere. So all you can do is pour the first half in there, then the second half into another glass, and then mix them both together to get the actual what the beer looks like. And it's very cloudy. You cannot see anything through this beer. Final chug. Heavy citrus, orange, pineapple, pears, apples. The Brettanomyces yeast is definitely present in this beer. Definitely has that farmhouse funkiness going on, saison funkiness. But it's not sour. It's definitely not sour like a lambic or a sour beer would be. It's very enjoyable. I like this a lot. Trevor, thanks a bunch for bringing this one by the house and giving me this one to try. I usually like everything that Jester King Brewery does. So very tasty. I like this one a lot. Not my typical style of beer, but a nice change up from what I normally drink. So I do enjoy that. I'm kind of scared to brew anything with Brettanomyces yeast because once it gets into your equipment, your buckets, your lines, and all that, you can't get it out. I mean, it's you basically have to have dedicated equipment to brew this because you cannot get that out once you brew with that. The sanitizer will not remove all of that. It is pretty potent stuff. That Brettanomyces yeast is almost impossible to get out of your equipment once you brewed with that kind of yeast, guys. So, not brewed with anything like that yet, but this is a delicious beer. Not getting any alcohol now it's warmed up. Very well made beer. I'm not surprised at that because Jester King does some really tasty stuff. Big bottle, 750 milliliters. Doesn't have a lot of ratings from Rate Beer. It says no scores, requires more ratings to give a score on this particular version of this beer. So, in my opinion, guys, I'm gonna give it to 8, which is an A-. I may be a little generous on this rating because this beer was gave to me. This is about an $11 beer, according to the price sticker on the back of the bottle. I think that's probably what most people would probably pay for this on this part of the country. And it's probably going to be cheaper in Texas than it is here in Virginia or South Carolina, wherever. I think Trevor told me he picked this up in South Carolina. I'm not sure about that, but I think he was somewhere and actually picked this up there. So I didn't realize that they were actually shipping that beer this far east. But anyway, or he may even had a friend that was somewhere closer and got this beer and gave it to him. But anyway, make a long story short, it's pretty tasty. If you can get your hands on Jester King beers, if you like a nice farmhouse saison and Brettanomyces yeast, it's pretty tasty. I enjoyed it. I definitely think it's a well-made beer, so we're giving it to A-, which is the 8 today. That's like I said, Rate Beer doesn't have any ratings on it, so we'll go over to Beer Advocate. Beer Advocate is 86 in the very good range, and it is a very good beer. It is definitely worth picking up if you like this style of beer. So, with that being said, guys, if you've had this one from Jester King, this is their Mad Meg Farmhouse Provision Ale. Pretty tasty. It is pretty tasty. Not something I'd want to drink every day, but a nice change up, and I'm glad I got to try this one. I'm a big fan of Jester King beers, so I liked it. It's very tasty. Got the A rating for me, A minus rating for me today, guys. So if you've had it, give me some comments back on this and you like it, didn't like it. And as always, rate, comment, subscribe, hit the like button. And let's take that walk tomorrow and see what's in the fridge. See you then.